Hi guys, I'm Greg from Zoho Expert, and today I'm going to be doing a quick video on client scripts and how to use client scripts to search your existing contacts to make sure you aren't adding a duplicate contact when you're in the process of adding a new contact. Before we start, this is our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel and help us grow. I want to say a massive thank you to all of our subscribers. We have now reached over 100 subscribers. Which is fantastic. Thank you so much. Today we're on 116, which is fantastic. We now have the custom URL. So if you go to youtube.com/Zoho Expert, that will take you to our channel. So thank you so much to everyone who supported us. Today's video is in response to one of our commenters on YouTube who has specifically asked about this and about client scripts and this particular client script. Now, I have recorded this video already last night and it went horribly wrong. My screen recording software didn't record the tab I was working in. So you basically just see my mouse moving around a blank screen as I talk. So very frustrating, but I'm going to be re-recording this video. The good thing is I can now create this in my Zoho Expert CRM system so that you guys can see step by step from scratch how to create client scripts. So I'm going to click on, well, firstly, let's go to settings. Well, I can't see the settings because of the screen recording software being in the way. So there we go, settings. And now we go to client scripts. If you don't have client scripts turned on, then you need to contact Zoho support to ask them to switch it on for you. I'm still waiting to become a Zoho partner. So very frustratingly, their UK Zoho partner team says that they're currently not taking on any new partner applications. I've been waiting for months and they still won't consider my application, which is really frustrating because I have quite a number of clients now who all want to tag me as their partner. So not much I can do about that. If you want to help out, then please subscribe to our channel. The more subscribers we have, the more likely they are to add us to the partnership program. And if you really want to help, you can always email the partnership program at Zoho and say, hey, I want to make Zoho Expert my partner, but you guys haven't accepted their application yet. But I don't expect you to do that, but it'd be awesome if you do. Anyway, so in settings, we click on client scripts, and now we click on create new script. So I am a big fan of making descriptive names for all my scripts and functions and workflows and everything. So you always know exactly what it does. So we're going to call this on create person. Now in my system, actually on this system, contacts are called contacts. So on create contact, check for duplicate. Okay. Create check duplicate. Okay, in here. So on create, in the description, I'm going to write a more detailed explanation of what it does. On creating a new contact, search all existing contacts, email addresses to ensure that we are not adding a duplicate contact. There we go. So now we choose where this runs. So currently the only option is to run it on the modules. I don't know what they could possibly add later, but right now it runs on modules. And then we're going to choose where on the module it runs. So we're going to say on the create page. Now you can run this on various different stages of what you're doing. So for example, the details page when you're working in a canvas, the clone page when you're cloning a record, or the edit page. The clone page, for example, you might want to remove certain fields automatically when somebody clicks clone to stop IDs and unique references and things being moved across to that new cloned record. On the edit page, you might want to run something similar to what I'm running now, where you check for duplicates and you make sure that it's not a duplicate. But in our case, we're just going to do it on the create page, and we're going to say we want to run this on the contacts module, and the event is a field event. So the layout, if you've got multiple layouts, which I do not recommend, but if you do have multiple layouts, you have to choose the particular layout you want to work in. And then the event, a page event, would be something like when you're loading the page, are changing the page or saving the page. But in our case, we're going to do it on a field event, and we're going to say on editing the email field. So you see on change. And so when we change the email on the create contact page, then this script is going to run. So click next. Now it loads up with this as standard, so don't edit this. Write your code underneath that. Now, if you need help on how client scripts work, you can get these from the settings page for client scripts. So let me do that in another window. There we go. Okay, so when you go onto client scripts, you can see this help button here in the top right. Click on that. I doubt you can see this, but let's open it in a new tab. There we go. And this is the help that opens when you click on here. And it's not very detailed, to be completely honest with you. It's quite limited, but it should give you some sort of indication on where to go. Now, when we go back in here, you can also click on this ZDK. And right now we only have the option for ZDK 1.0. I assume that in time they will be, updating this and adding extra functionality and doing that as ZDK 1.1, for example. But right now we only have this as an option. You can click the question mark here, and it shows you a whole bunch of different things that you can do. So our code that I'm going to paste in a minute, and it'll be in the video description, that will be using some of this functionality. So I'm going to go and get the code. Now, this code will be in the video description. It'll be between two lines. So it'll say our code, and you'll see here that I've got this comment at the top of our code that says our code, paste this below the green comment that was automatically on the client script when you created it. So in other words, this here, this is the green comment I'm talking about. So let me walk you through this. So you see here this value. Yeah, this value is what's coming in from the field that's being changed. So in our case, it's the email field. So it says when the email field is changed, grab the value from within the email field. Now, I'm renaming that into a variable called input email. So everywhere else you see the input email, that's just what the value is that's coming in. Now I'm saying if the input email is not null, which means empty in computer code, so if it's not null, then I want to log this to the console. I want to say the email is set to, and then whatever the input email is. And then I'm making another variable saying contacts with same email. Now you see it's contacts, plural of contact, with the same email. And that's because what this zdk.app.crm.contacts.search by email, and then I'm putting in the input email, what this script here returns is a list of all contacts who have the same email. Now that list will start at position 0, and then if there's 2 contacts, for example, it'll be 0 and 1. If there's 5, it'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 0 is always your first one. So now we're saying the first contact with the same email is contacts with the same email. So it's from this list, and it's position 0. So the first one in that list, I want to say they're the first contact with the same email. Then I want to say if the first contact with the same email has own property underscore ID is not equal to false. So in other words, it equals true. Then it means that this is a record. We have found another record in the CRM that has the same email address that was entered in here. So if that happens, I want to log to the console that we found a matching contact, and I want to put their whole record into this console log. Then I want to just draw a line, and then I want to say contact with same email already exists, and then I want to put the contact ID in. So this is all logging to the console. Now, this is not necessary, but it helps me when I'm looking to work out what I'm doing with this code, because I'm not a JavaScript developer, so this code doesn't come naturally to me. I generally write in PHP and then Deluge. Anyway, so now we want to create another variable called response from popup. And then we want to create a popup. Now, this zdk.client.showConfirmation, that comes directly from here. So when you're looking in the different things that you can do, you can go to the UI, I think it is. Is it the UI? No, it's not. Let's try the client. No. Response maybe. No, UI element. These do confuse me. No, none of these. Okay, well, anyway, so in the ZDK, we've got a bunch of different things we can do. Just trying to find it here. I definitely found it before because that's what I used to make this code. So you might just have to have a good look around and find it yourself. Here it is. Okay, so it's client. So you've got show message or show confirmation. So in my case, I'm using show confirmation, and you'll see that it returns a Boolean, which is like true or false, or 0 or 1. In our case, it's true or false. And so you can have the confirmation. Okay, so you write the script, and the first part is the message you want to show, then the accept message, so in other words, the accept button, and the reject message or the reject button. The reject button comes back as false, and the accept button comes back as true. So in our code, we have it say contact with same email already exists, and then we put the link in to the contact on my system. But you see, I've just copied and pasted this. So this isn't actually the link to a contact on my Zoho CRM, this or my Zoho Expert CRM. This is from my property CRM. So if I now go onto my other CRM, and let me do that on another window. Actually, I need to do it for Zoho. So give me one sec. So I want to go into contacts and open a contact. But yeah, it is completely different. So we do need to change that code. I'm going to see if I can find a test contact I can use. Yes, I can use this one. Great. So now what I do is I'm just going to copy the link. So I'm opening up, let me show you. So I'm opening up a contact and I'm taking this part of the URL. Yeah. And I'm just leaving the ID number off the end. So I'm going to cut that and I'm going to paste it here. And you'll see that this org number has changed. So when you're copying and pasting this code, you need to also change this organization number to make sure it matches the one in your URLs. Okay. And then I'm saying plus the contact with the first contact with same email dot underscore ID. And I'll show you where we get this from in a moment. But basically, we're accessing this map or JSON data source where we've got a lot of different variables inside it, and we're accessing the particular one, or it's technically an array, a key value array, and we're accessing the ID, the value from the ID key. Okay, now for reject, we don't have anything. Yeah, but in our case, let's just put this as, actually, no, I think I've got these the wrong way around. The first one's the accept message, then the reject message. Okay, so we say accept, and here reject. Okay, now you will see that I have just got, where depending on which button is pressed by the user, as in me or my team, it will just log out to the console, response is false or response is true, based on if they put accept, or let's say true, and false. Now, the reason I had this here, yeah, this if-else statement, is because I wanted to have two different things here. I wanted to have an option for them to say, carry on anyway, yeah, and make a duplicate, or take me to the correct record. But unfortunately, Zoho doesn't allow you to redirect the page within their code. So even though in JavaScript there are a number of different ways you can redirect a page, Zoho blocks all of that, probably for security. I'm hoping this is something they will change in the future, even if it just allows you to move to a different part of the CRM, so a different page within the CRM. That would be fantastic. But right now we can't move anywhere. We can only just show messages messages and update records and do the things that it shows you inside here. All right, and now if it doesn't find anybody who's matching, then it just logs out to the console but does nothing else. It doesn't show any pop-ups or anything. And finally, if the email is empty, it just says the email is empty. This is redundant, but I put it in here because when I was first coding this, I wanted to check that I was actually accessing the email variable, and that's just what I did. Anyway, once we've got this code in, or once you've got this code in, and you've updated your org number, so you see the org number is also shown up here, so you can just copy this from here and paste it in here. Then you click save, and now we can test if it's working. So firstly, we want to go and add a new person. So let's I want to add this person again. I want to create a duplicate of them and see whether I can see the code working. Okay, so let's start by going, where's my add new person? Here we go. Add contact. Okay, so now this should, when I paste in their email address and click out of the box, it should pop up with that message. And it's not. That is not working. Okay, let's try and work out why. So in Chrome or Mozilla, or whatever you're in, you can right click and go inspect. And now we want to, firstly, let's bring this down. I want to, oh, the screen recording software is so annoying. Okay, so let's just open the console and work out why this isn't working. So it's not doing anything at all. I'm just going to go back and check our client script. So our client script is here, and it's working on the contacts create page on change of the email. So it should be working. Let's try this again quickly. So we're on the contact create page. Let's just take all of this out. There we go. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't working before, but when I refreshed it, it worked. So I think it's probably just that it took a little while to update. But as you can see, the pop-up has come, yeah, and it's also given me all these console logs. So you see the first console log is that the email is set to that. And then it shows me the matching contact found. And you can see this is the key value array that has all of the contact variables within it. So you see from here, if I wanted to, I could access the lead source, the first name, the full name, the date of birth. I could literally pull anything out of here I wanted to and work with that within the client script. In my case, I'm just using the underscore ID. So everything starts with an underscore in here for some reason. So if we go underscore ID, and there we go, you can see it here. So that's the ID, and there it is. And if I wanted to, I could go to this contact. Now, if yours doesn't load up, it's because you haven't correctly changed your org ID in the link. You've just copied the same code as mine. Anyway, so now what we want to do is we want to click true or false and see this come down here. So if we go true, we can see response is true. Now, if you had something else that you wanted to run, depending on which button your colleague or you clicked, then you would put it within the if statement. So you'd say, if true, then do XYZ, and you'd run some other code here. So yeah, that's it. I can answer any questions anybody has. But in the meantime, I hope this answers your initial question of how this works and how I use this. I think it's a very useful part of Zoho, and it's really powerful. You can do so much with it, considering you can access all of the different field values. You can also update fields, which is super useful. So if you go to, where is it here? I think it's the field. Um, maybe it's the page. There. Okay, so you can also set values. So you can use this to set a value of a field on the page. And so, for example, you might want to have some calculations running in the background. For example, if you had this client script working on the date of birth field, you might have the system in the background work out if that makes the person over 18 or over 21. And if it does, you might want to automatically tick a box that says, adult, or, able to purchase, restricted goods, or whatever the field in your system might be, as a double check mechanism. The other thing you can do is you can update other records on the system. So I'm just trying to find that part quickly because it's not very intuitive. Um, Give me one moment. I thought it was form, but it's not. You can add tags and remove tags, but there was definitely a way to actually update the record, and I just can't seem to find it right now. How I would do it if I had to as a workaround, but hopefully you don't need to do this, but I'm pretty sure you can do it otherwise. But how I would do it as a quick and dirty workaround now, if I had to, is I would just do a post request to Zoho Flow or directly to the Zoho API, and I would update it that way. So if anybody's interested in me doing a video on that, let me know. But hopefully I'll be able to find the way to update other records. It's just completely escaping me right now, and I will send you. I'll create a video showing how to edit a secondary record or a record in another module based on changes you make within another module. So, for example, if I clicked on here and I said that the introducer of this client was Jack Jones, then it would go to Jack Jones's record and add something to say that Zoho Projects Notification is his subclient, or her subclient. So yeah, there's lots that can be done here. If you've got any questions or any ideas that you would like me to show you how to implement, please let me know. Please like the video, please comment below, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for all your support. I'm Zoho Expert, and it's been great presenting to you guys today. Take care.